Okay, so I got some news for everyone. Apparently, Joe Johnston, the director of Captain America, wants to make two movies about two characters. As you probably read from the title above, Winter Soldier and Boba Fett. That's right. He wants to make Joe Johnston wants to make a movie about Winter Soldier and Boba Fett. How awesome is that? Now, first off, I'd like to say that I think Bucky has a better chance of getting a movie than Boba Fett, and I'll explain in a minute. I say Winter Soldier has a better chance of getting a movie because Marvel would probably shell out the money, and I think Bucky could carry definitely his own movie. I mean, you could probably base a whole movie... You can definitely base a whole movie around the Winter Soldier and make it definitely a darker movie. You could pretty much do his origins. Because you can pretty much do a sequel. I mean, this could be a spin-off. I mean, look at the Elektra movie. As bad as it was, you didn't need a Daredevil 2 to explain what happened to Elektra after the movie. Just say she got resurrected. Same thing with Bucky. You can pretty much do that. You can just say in the credits, opening credits, like, oh, he got found by the Russians and now he's doing missions. In fact, you could probably do this movie in the 50s or 60s of Bucky going on a mission to take down Baron Zemo. You know, let's say Zemo is, is making a new Hydra, kind of like the Fifth Reich, or you can use Baron von Strucker, and you can have the Russians telling Bucky, telling their Winter Soldier, go kill this man. You see? There you go. That's what I think. And personally, I actually like this actor who's playing Bucky. In fact, he's pretty much, you can probably get him into being Winter Soldier just like that, more or less. He's old enough to play Winter Soldier, trust me. And I think this costume right here could actually, of the Winter Soldier, could work as, a movie costume. I mean, look at this costume right here. This could actually work. And I would definitely set it kind of like not a periodical piece, but I'd set it around the 50s or 60s, definitely Cold War era, definite high point of the Cold War for this movie. Just like the first Captain America movie was in the 40s, more or less. I'd set this in the 60s. If it were up to me, I'd have definitely set it in that time period, and more or less around that. Have Bucky fight a Captain America villain, more or less. But yeah, that's more or less my general thoughts on that. But moving on to the one that's probably not going to be made, and that's Boba Fett. Now, first off, Boba Fett, freaking epic that that Mr. Johnston wants to make a Boba Fett movie. However, here's the problem with that. George Lucas is the problem. Now, I know George Lucas is probably the richest nerd on the planet next to Bill Gates, but I don't know if you would go for Joe Johnston making a whole movie about him. Well, actually, you can. Here's the thing. You can make a whole movie about Boba Fett. This character has such a rich history around him in the mythos. And, Boba could definitely carry his own movie. Now, you'd probably definitely have to get a new actor to play Boba Fett, because the actor before is a bit old, the previous actor. Now, you could probably get the guy who played Jango Fett, actually. He recently, for those who don't know, he played Jango Fett, and he played Abin Sur in the Green Lantern movie. Personally, for some reason or another, I want to see Jason Statham play Boba Fett. Don't ask me why, but I think he could actually work as Boba Fett. I don't know. When I was thinking of people who could play Boba Fett, I was thinking either get the guy who played Jango Fett or Jason Statham. Just weird like that. But the problem with this is that I don't think George Lucas is going to go for a movie about one character. But then again, he'll probably go for the money, and Lucasfilms will probably be like, "All right, awesome, we're going to make more money off of this." And like I said, Boba. The story I had in mind actually that you could probably do with Boba Fett is, what you could probably do is make a movie based around one of the book series from Boba Fett, where he crawled out of the Sarlacc pit and fought his way back to Mandalore, fought for control, and became the leader of Mandalore, more or less. He started racing, kind of like make it a space opera, and a bit of Conan the Barbarian, but still keep Boba the badass that he is. Something like that, I think, could work. More or less base it off one of the books for Boba Fett. But anyway, like I said, the big question is, would George Lucas go for a movie about just Boba Fett and not mention any of the other Star Wars characters? I don't know. That's going to be the big question right there, and I definitely have to say that George Lucas would definitely, keep his eye on Joe Johnston constantly, because that's his character. And would the people, would the market look at a Boba Fett movie and say, hey, that looks like a cool idea, but where's Han? Where's Leia? Where's all them? Why is it just a guy who was only in a couple scenes? And these are the same people who would say, like... And I think, actually, Joe Johnston wants to do this for the fans, make a Boba Fett movie for the fans, but I don't know. I mean, the general audience might think, well, why are we making a movie about such a low-class character? Because the general audience wouldn't know about the comics or the books or how badass Boba the Fett man can be, other than, Empire Strikes Back and then his punk quote-unquote death in Return of the Jedi. And even people would be saying, well, he got eaten by the Sarlacc pit. Why is he still alive? So that's going to be the biggest hurdle that I don't think, as much as I want to see it happen, I don't think a Boba Fett might not happen. But dreams, we can always dream and, hope and stuff. But out of the two, I think Winter Soldier has the better chance of being made because of the market's going to be there. Marvel's going to definitely put money behind it just to bring out more characters for their sales, and definitely they'd bring back Bucky in the comics. And among other things. So I think out of the two, I'm actually going to call Winter Soldier getting a movie. Has the bigger chance of getting the movie, actually. Yeah, definitely Bucky has the better chance of getting his own movie than Boba, as much as I hate to admit it. But, you guys tell me, what do you think of Joe Johnston wanting to make a Winter Soldier and Boba Fett movie, separate spin-off movies? You guys tell me what you think. I really want to know, because these are two really badass characters. So, later.